In this video I'm going to show you how to turn the controller into a drum sequencer by using the Max for Live device, the drum stepper Max for Live device. First thing you need to do is make sure you have everything selected in your preferences properly. The controller needs to be selected, and you also need to have the remote script installed. Once I have that done, what I'm going to do here is start with a blank project. I am going to start with adding a MIDI track. So go to Create, Insert MIDI track. And the first thing I want to do is find my Max for Live device, the drum stepper live device, and go ahead and drag it into that new MIDI track. Once I have that loaded into my MIDI track, you'll notice it tells me I need a drum rack. This does not work without a drum rack. The best thing to do is create a brand new drum rack, not to use an existing drum rack. There's various reasons for that, and I'll explain that later in the video. So now that I have my live device here, I am going ahead and put a new drum rack. You'll see it's not populated. These 16 pads correspond to these 16 pads automatically, so you don't need to do any modification here. You just add instruments. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to need to add a bunch of instruments. So why don't we start off with a kick, and let me just add 4 different kicks here to kind of give you an idea of how this all works. You'll notice the kicks all have different sounds. Now you can pretty much drag any instrument into here. So we have different sounds here. Alright, I'm going to go and grab a hi-hat and drop some different hi-hats in here. Get an open and closed hi-hat, and let me get a couple of cymbals to add with that. And then let's get a snare. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to do 3 rows to give you an idea of how drum works and how you can add to the drum. So here's my different sounds. And then I'm going to go to something completely different. I'm just going to get some instruments in here. So let me go to Special Effects and grab things that are not drums at all. I'm going to grab a bass. Okay, so I have drums and some other devices in here. So once you have them all loaded, you click on there and it clears it out. You have all 16 loaded and you're ready to roll. So by selecting the different instruments here, you'll see different parameters are loaded up in this section here. So to start the sequence, I need to go back to my regular live mode here, press play, go back into my live device by pressing one of these 4. You can have up to 4 these modules loaded. So I'm going to start with my kick, and I'm just going to go ahead and put some different kick sounds in. And here's all my parameters for that kick. I got the tone, low cut, click, attack, decay, pan, volume. Okay, it's the sound I like, so I'm going to go ahead and add a hi-hat to that. Different sounds will give you different instruments will give you different parameters up here. I'm going to go ahead and add my snare. This one has a nice phaser filter already on it. So now I can go ahead and add some of these other sounds that are not drums at all. And you can see when it actually triggers the different instrument, you'll see it light up on the grid here. So I'm going to add that bass sound. And the cool thing here is you got the oscillators. Change the pitch. That covers the basics of setting up your drum stepper. In the next tutorial we'll cover the advanced features and all the cool things that you can do with it once you have it up and running.